Hey guys, it's Michaela here. So I'm going to keep this video as short as I possibly can. So I'm going to go through all these products really quickly. I'm going to basically tell you what they are and what they do. But a short brief of what they do, because I can go on and on and on about what a lot of these things have done and how much I love them. But anyways, so I'm trying to keep this short for you guys. So first off, Sullivan Supply Vita Hair Volumizer. Best shampoo on the market, in my honest opinion. I love it. I take this, I wash them first with this, then I go back in and I wash them again with Sullivan's Supply Rejuvenate, also a Vita Hair product. They are both super awesome. They both do wonders for the hair. They make things so much easier when it comes to clipping, and these are my go-to products. Got Revive that I use as a conditioner. I put this on overnight at the show or the day before I leave home if it's a close to home show. I put this in the hair, brush it in, blow it in, and then the next day I rinse it all out, blow dry them back out, and I get a really nice hide. I get really nice hair. It just does a really good job at conditioning. Take this for the bucks. Use this on their legs. Great for breaking up the pee stains, the horrible pee stains that nobody can ever get out. I've used whitening shampoos and stuff on that. Yes, it helps whiten, but to cut the actual buildup from the urine, Dawn does awesome job at that. Got Knockout here. I use this for stains, small stains that when you come back into the show barn the next day and your goat has gotten a stain on them, but you don't want to rinse or wash and dry the whole goat again and go through all that because you don't have time, and you've got so much other things going on. Knockout does the trick. You spray it in, brush it in, and then rub it out with like a towel or a paper towel or something, and then blow dry the area clean or dry. I use Shock. Shock is something I use on show day or sale day. This is after they've sat all night, after you've done wash, dried, groomed them. You put this in their hair to bring it back to life after it's fallen flat. They've lost volume, and you want to bring the hair back to life. I use Shock. So I take those. All of those are in my show box. Then I have the Natural White by Sullivan's. I love this stuff. It's super fresh and just like it's just got like a super clean smell, clean feel to it. I use this a lot in certain areas though. I won't wash the whole goat in it because I feel like it kind of strips the other stuff that my other shampoo leaves in the hair. So I use this on areas that are concentrated, like the buck's legs, butts, dirty butts that have gotten stains that are built up over time. I use that on this, and then I go in with the volumizer or the Rejuvenate. Okay, so moving on to the other products and brushes and all that fun stuff. I've got lots of brushes here. I'm a brush fanatic. All the combs, more combs, the better for me. So I've got these two Teflon combs by Sullivan. I've got the wide one, and they've got a bunch of hair on them because we're grooming right now. Okay, so I've got the short one, I've got the wide one. They both do the same thing. These are just the regular, regular Teflon combs. They both do the same thing. This one's just a little easier to keep in my pocket in the show ring. And I put this in my back pocket, and that way I've got a comb on hand when hairs get out of place. And then this big one is good for the sides and brushing out the hips and stuff, and I just really like having both sizes. You can never go wrong. Let's see. Then I've got my fluffer comb. So this is, you can tell that the teeth some of the teeth are receding below the other teeth. So these are like skip tooth, but these are closer together. So this is called a fluffer comb. You use this on the legs. I like using the plastic one. It can take a lot of abuse, but I like the Teflon ones better now that I've started using the Teflon ones on the fluffer combs. I don't have any on me where I show you, but they're just like this. The Sullivan Supply has them, and they're just like this material, the Teflon, but they look like, the teeth look like this. I like using those a lot better when it comes to fluffing the leg hair and separating and pulling out that hair, because if you're using adhesive or any kind of glue product like that, it doesn't stick to the teeth as much. Plastic and adhesive are like best friends. They are like literally attached to each other. So it's really hard, even using Hocus Pocus and all that stuff to get the adhesive off and other adhesive removers. It's super hard to get it off the cone. I have to work really hard at it, but I like having this. I use this at home just because it's here, and then I'll use the other one at shows and stuff. Then I have my 360 round brush. This is just like a brush for people. It's really good at separating the hair. It's really good at detangling. It's really good at fluffing. It's just all around a really awesome brush to keep on hand. And it's got the bristles all the way around. That's why it's called the 360 round. This one's the mini. They have a larger one that's longer, kind of like the longer comb. But I like using the mini because it's easy to put in my pocket. So I keep that on hand too. When it comes to products, I'm missing a few products today actually because I'm out of them and they're coming in the mail. But I've got the Sullivan Supply Tail Adhesive, and then the other one is Primetime. So for beginners, I recommend Primetime. It's a lighter adhesive. It gives you a little bit more time to work. And for the less confident, if you're not super confident in fitting legs and fitting hair with adhesive, then Primetime is what you want to use. It gives you a lot more work time. It gives you a lot more ability to move the hair, and you don't have to feel rushed to do it. It still is going to get sticky, and it's still going to, you can get it to gum up if you use too much, just like with the tail adhesive, but it gives you a much longer work time for beginners. Tail adhesive is another adhesive by Sullivan Supply. This is a little bit more medium based. It's a little stickier. You get a little less work time to work with it before it starts getting, firm, but I've used it enough that I've become pretty confident in myself that I'm not scared of it anymore. It doesn't intimidate me and I can use it no problem. I use both because I like both for different hair types too. I'll judge the animal the day that I'm doing their hair, and I'll decide if their hair type can handle the stronger adhesive or if it can handle the Primetime a little bit better. Because some goats have awesome hair that you don't have to do a whole lot to. Then to remove the adhesive, you always want to make sure you remove your adhesive right after you get done, right after you come out of the show ring if you can. It's going to be much better on the animal. It's going to keep their hair in good shape. It's going to keep their hide from drying out, and it's going to get all that glue and gunk stuff out of it. Hocus Pocus is my favorite remover. I can put this on my blades before I go to clip through the adhesive. I put this on my brushes to clean my brushes out, and then I put this on their legs to help rinse out and break down all that glue in their hair. And then my finishing sprays, I've got Flare by Sullivan. I'm sure a lot of you all know how amazing this smells. It is like my new favorite perfume. I can just smell it all day. It's awesome. When I go to a show ring and I smell this in the air, it just makes my day so much better. So Flare is awesome because it's not only a finishing spray, but it's also, you can use this as a volumizer too. So I spray this in the hair on the stand while the goat's on the stand. I spray this in the hair, I brush it in, and then I blow it out. And though I don't blow it totally out, but I blow it in and out. So I blow a lot of it into the hair and then some of it comes out, of course. But I blow this into the hair for about 5 to 10 minutes and it really just helps everything look beautiful. So Flare, then it gives you the shine. That's the best thing in the world. And then Final Bloom. So this is like right before you go in. This is what you are spraying in the makeup area where all the clouds of puffy stuff is floating around and everybody's choking and coughing. This smells really good too. I like Flare better. That's my opinion, but this is what I put on right before I go into the ring, and it just gives that extra shine. And when you mix the two together, it's really great. And then I think that's it on my products for my show box. Let me go grab my clippers. These are my clippers, the Andes Pulse ZR2. They're cordless. They are a 5-speed. They are super easy to work with. They are super easy to hold, very ergonomic, especially for a lady's hand, I feel like they fit in our hands really nicely. They are super easy to maneuver around the goat, and I love the fact that I don't have to drag a cord around with me everywhere. They go on that charging dock like that, and as I said in my first video, they are a 5-speed. Then you turn them on. See, all 5 of those dots are lit up, and then you can go down and turn the speeds down. I always clip on the 5th speed. It's what I'm most comfortable with, but sometimes people are a little intimidated about going around the faces of the goats with the 5-speed. But that comes with time. In here, I keep all my blades. I've got my hoof trimmers. Let's see. And then here's where I've got all my blades that I keep. That is what I use on my big clipper for weathers, but that's a whole nother deal. I don't use those a whole lot. I mainly use that with my 4-H kids. Okay, so here we go. I've got these blades right here, my 10 blades. My 10 blades I use with the attachments. So here's my 10s right there. And then I got this 10. It's always good to have extra blades on hand because you never know when you're gonna break a tooth, like on this one. And they can cause issues with your cutting and the lines that you leave. I keep my attachments. So these are always a good thing to have, especially for beginners. There's a lot of freehand clippers out there, or fitters that clip free-handedly. I don't always. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Certain hair types will help me decide that. So let me kind of put them in order here of what I've got going on. Okay, it's my 8th attachment. You can see it's smaller, shorter, cuts the hair to an 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4, an inch, and then an 1.5 inches. My biggest ones that I make sure that I always have on hand are those right there. 1/4, 1/2, 3/4 inch. Then I've got my wide blocking blade. There's a super blocking blade out there too. This one's the wide blocking blade. And I love using that to cut through adhesive. It's much sharper to cut through adhesive. And as you can tell, all of the blades are the same length. So this is not made for blending. This is made for cutting the hair at a super sharp edge, making it super clean. This is a more dangerous blade for beginners. You want to make sure that when you're using this on your clipper, that you don't use it around their tail, you don't use it around their flank. Anywhere with really sensitive skin that's going to be exposed, you will fillet them wide open with this thing. This is a super sharp blade. There's a lot of people that use it around the tail, but a lot of those people that you see, those fitters, are very experienced and they know kind of what their limits are with that blade. But for people that are beginning or younger kids, I do not recommend them letting them use this around the tail. But this is super great to use for cutting through adhesive because it is such a fast moving, sharp blade. And then I'll spray it with Hocus Pocus beforehand, and then I'll spray it afterwards. My go-to blade, my handy dandy medium blending blade, Ultra Edge. This thing is beautiful. So as you can see, the teeth do not match. The second set here is receding a little bit to the top set. This allows for your blending. So this is what helps keep, whenever you're back dragging with this, which I will do a video on blending techniques. Whenever you're back dragging, having those 2 different lengths is what helps keep your hair look like it's blending in. And that's what keeps it, you know, as line free as you possibly can. I've got another blade that's coming in the mail. Is a T84, Andy's T84. I will go in after using the blending blade and I'll use that T84 to help clean up what little chop lines this does leave. That T84 will help take that out. All those are my go-tos though. So the main ones that I use for breeding stock, especially the 10 blade and then the medium blending blade. Those are definitely a must-have in my show box. Let's see. Okay, so I don't think I missed anything. If I did, I will think of it and I will let you all know in another video, but I'm pretty sure I got everything kind of covered in my show box. I will tell you, here's my show box. I got this from Sullivan's as well. This is kind of like the basic one that is like your all around ultimate box because it's super easy to, you know, carry out to your weekend shows. It's definitely got enough room to keep all of your supplies in. For people that have, you know, a whole lot of notes that they're taking, like if you're going to nationals or something, you'll want to take like another box too, because you probably won't be able to fit all of your product because you're probably going to end up going through a can of Flair throughout nationals. You're probably going to end up going through a bottle of shampoo or more while there, or at nail. But this is a great box to have because you can put your blow dryer on the back, and you can take this whole box off and hang it on the side of a stall. And then it's got the wheels, let me move it down. So it's got the wheels too, so you can just wheel it wherever you want to go. And it's stainless and it locks. And you can put a padlock in it and you can roll on to your show. And it literally can fit just about everything you need between your chains and your blades and all your products and shampoo and all that fun stuff. So I highly, highly, highly recommend using that as your show box. But anyways, so that concludes our video on my show box must-haves. If you all have any questions or comments, feel free to message me on my Facebook page. You can message me on our Richardson Sport Goat page. You can message me on the YouTube video, Instagram. I'm available at all avenues of social media except for Twitter. I don't do Twitter. So message me with any questions, comments, what other things you would like for me to cover. And as always, have a great day, and I'll be getting more videos out.